Hi everybody, this is Kathy L. Murphy, the Pulpwood Queen, and I'm here live at a.k.a. Ornate in Gladewater, Texas, which is owned by my friend and author, Stephanie Chance. I am getting ready to enter the gallery of where I have put in all of my art, and I've been photographing it this afternoon so I can put it up on my website. So I'm going to turn this around. Let's see if I can do that. No? There we go. Here we go. We are entering the Decorate Gallery. This is the building that Stephanie houses all of her vintage doors and architectural finds from Europe and Italy and all over the place. And these are my paintings as you go in the door. You can also see my Pulpwood Queen latest book, The Pulpwood Queen Celebrate 20 Years, of which we do sell in the store, and I'll go back through it in just a minute. But I wanted to show you, this is a painting that I just entered in a judge show called in Luxembourg, and I'm very excited about it because it's one of the largest paintings that I've ever done, and I think it came out just fine. Many of the paintings that you're seeing below were when I was out in the Marfa, Texas area. I saw the most incredible sunsets and vistas of my life, and so I tried to capture exactly that feeling as I saw all those beautiful oranges and reds at sunset. Now we're going to be seeing some of my latest works, which is my nature finds. During the COVID virus and home social distancing, it was really hard for me to get out and get art supplies. So I started walking in the woods and I found the most amazing things. I found mushrooms and bird feathers and eggshells, all these little tufts of fur, mosses. And what I did, I found clusters of leaves, I dried flowers. I put all of these things into my studio where I debugged them, I sealed them, I dried them, sealed them again, and then when I got them all done, I applied this all to this particular piece, which is a grapevine wreath that you could hang on your door. It'd be great for fall or throughout the year in your home when you're decorating. As we go into the gallery, you can see the doors up against the wall in the background. This is one of my largest paintings. This is called The Cabin View at Murphy's Law. This was painted outside looking out in my backwoods. Now, the funny thing is, I do not have any standing water in the back of my forest, but through my imaginations of all the books that I've read and what I have experienced by being out in nature, I saw a deer one day reaching up to get a branch. So I incorporated all those things from my reads and my nature walks into this painting that's called Cabin View at Murphy's Law. Below you can see one of my woodcut prints. And I have this thing about frogs and toads. This is the frog prints. And right now, we've had an awful amount of frogs and toads this fall. But this was a block print that I did, and I have one of these prints left. So it's also in my Nature's Reflections series. Behind this, you can see a wonderful painting that's done on Yupo paper with alcohol ink that I framed. That's quite large, 36 by 30 inches. I really love the colors and the way it reflects the light. Alcohol inks are like no other medium I've ever experienced because they're translucent. You build up qualities that you cannot get with any other type of medium. This is a small collage print that I did with, I recycle and repurpose frames, and I collect all these things. This is Heart of the Forest. And these are all wonderful little slices of nature where you can bring the nature from outside into the inside, which is what I do in my home. Here's another repurposed mirror. And this one was so much fun. It was a vintage find that had decoupage roses, and I applied all my forest finds This is a turkey feather that I picked up on one of my walks on my friend's ranch in Kansas down in a creek bed. So all of these things have a story. There's a butterfly I found, pine cones, funguses, bark. I just really like it. This is nature's reflection. Below is a painting that I did during a workshop. And it's actually from an image I saw of Oak Alley, but I put my own bent on it. I pick up wood pieces. This is actually a piece of dried cactus from West Texas. If you look really close, out there you find a lot of gemstones. So I've added a lot of gemstones to this, and this is Oak Alley at teal twilight. Here's another one. I paint looking out at my forest in my back, and I love this rainbow tourmaline painting that I did on a board, a gesso canvas board with alcohol inks. This is the way I like to see my forest, and I hope you like to see it that way too. I'm also fascinated with nature. Animals. This is not a rabbit, you all. This is a red squirrel, and it's called Red Squirrel, Shake Your Bushy Tail. It incorporates more forest finds. It has a three-dimensional appeal. It has real moss in the squirrel's mouth, and I actually did not see a red squirrel, but a squirrel that had a tuft of moss in its mouth, so it inspired me to paint this painting. Below it is another one of my vintage mirrors that I've found with all my forest finds. And people ask me all the time, are those mushrooms really that red that you found? And yes, they really were. And being a geology major in college, I've also collected gemstones. So I have a lot of quartz crystals and different stones set in my collage paintings. Here's another one I did. It's called Escape. And it is a painting, alcoholic painting on canvas board that I put in a recycled frame and covered it with all my forest finds. I live in a cabin in the woods, and frames are just quite boring to me, so I always like to embellish them with the things that I find on my walks in nature. All of these are sealed, debugged. They are perfectly safe to put into your home. And this is a vintage ribbon that I found in an estate sale that I added into the piece. I really love it. Another thing I've found is I like to do different things. I paint on tiles. This one is called Art at Hand, and it's a coffee table piece. It's a piece of art that you put on a table flat. I like to do things that are a little unexpected, and I'm really excited about this one. It's just the right size to put by where you maybe place your coffee cup every morning for reflection. Here's another piece of wood that I found out in West Texas, and I really love it. I've incorporated some mushrooms and moss and different things that I have in a painted buck that is in this piece, and it's a standalone piece. And it would make a great gift for anybody who loves wildlife and nature. This is a very large piece of wood that I found in the forest, and I just could not believe how gorgeous this bark was off this tree. So I debugged and sealed it, and I started building a collection of all things from the forest. I'm going to go in and zoom in up close because you can't really see all the things that I've used in this piece, but it's forest finds from my collection. There's a lot of little bitty dried mushrooms that have been added into this. Quartz crystals. There's all kinds of little eggshells, little books, and up at the top I have a stag. I call this one Stag Party, and I think it would be really great to hang on somebody's wall that maybe loves to bring nature outside in. As I go around back to the back of the studio, I've done some groupings that I've done in colors that, these are my winter paintings, some of them. And the one at the top is called Winter's Bone. I read this fabulous book by Daniel Woodell, and this has got this just very icy looking road, and I just came to me and I thought, I've got to paint that. This one is a very unique painting. It's an alcohol ink and it's got a little portal to another world. But I love the way that I've mounted it because it's mounted on a piece of found wood that is on its back that holds it up like a little pedestal. So it'd be a great place to put it where you need a little spot for a little bright piece of nature and color. And I also do lots of little paintings of scenes that are alcohol ink and acrylic. This one is fun. It's called Midnight Blue. And I think this would make a fabulous grouping together. I always like to look at the big picture when I do paintings. I like to do things in series, and I usually paint many, many paintings all at the same time, so that I don't want them to match per se, but I want them to create moods. This was the mood I was in, and it was wintertime. As I walk to the back, I've got to show you another one of my alcohol ink paintings that I've done that is so unusual. I don't know where this came from in my mind's eye, but it has mosses and quartz crystals, and it has portals into all the other worlds that I see. And I get really excited when I see how all these colors interact with each other. It reminds me of so much of what I saw out in West Texas at sunset. The back wall on this beautiful antique oak cabinet that Stephanie has is I took a repurposed estate sale find of a Van Gogh print, and I'd had a little porcelain chair that had been saving for something special, and I just made this collage with all these found objects. Some of these are from Kansas, some of them are from Texas. I collect everywhere and let them dry and preserve them so that I can create nature framings rather than framings. This one is absolutely one of my absolute favorites. It's a fire painting with alcohol ink on glass with found objects that I found right in the forest around my house. And I really, I called this one View from the Forest. What's wonderful is you could put this in a window and you could see outside, and so it creates an illusion of what you see through this fire painting forest. Here is another one that I did too, that also you could prop this in a window and you can see it's called Moss. And it's got all my forest finds in it and this crazy little thing I found on the road. I never know what I might find when I'm out walking in the woods. But this is completely where you can see through it, and it works almost like stained glass. I'm going to step back because I want to show you how beautiful these vintage, they're not even just vintage doors, they're museum quality doors from Europe, stained glass, and all the furniture that I'm back here with. I'm just so thrilled. Look at these magnificent chairs. They're just incredible. She has stained glass pieces. This door is divine. You can see how they carved out the door and used these iron pinnings to keep it all together. I have no idea how many hundreds of years old this is. And here's another one that is just incredible. So many people travel to decorate Ornate in Gladewater, Texas, because they can incorporate these vintage doors in their contemporary homes and create these architectural accents that are just perfect to show off these antiquities. Everything from upholstered furnitures to, I'm going to walk along the door wall back here. This is my happy place. I can come here and I could stay here. I've been here most of the afternoon. Look at these doors. They're beautiful. And what is amazing, I've got a whole series of my green paintings up against these vintage doors, and I think it's just absolutely makes them pop. I love color, can you tell? I do too. This is called Peacock Island. This one in particular is Caddo Lake, my rendition of Caddo Lake. And then being also a geology major, I decided that I wanted to do a painting that was very much like a geode. Thank you all for watching. Josephine, Shanessa, Pat, thank you for joining me at Decorate Ornate as I've been in this morning pricing all my paintings. Now I'm going to go over here and show you Brenda Brannon's work. Totally different type of art, but I'm telling you, we were here Saturday night and she completely sold out of every Santa Claus that she painted, and she brought in some more. But her paintings they remind me so much of things that the colors and the way they're put together, like Italy, but they're more contemporary. This was one of the newest pieces that she just brought in. Oh, would I love to create a frame for that. It's really pretty. Brenda Brannon is her name, and she's an incredible artist also here with me at Decorate Ornate. As I walk around, I'm going to be showing you some more of the doors. Here's a painting I did for Stephanie to show, let's go to Italy with Stephanie Chance, because she does tours to Italy and all over Europe. Here's another balcony that could be incorporated into a home, and are these doors just not magnificent? Here's the cover of Stephanie's first book, Mamma Mia, America's Invade Italy, that she autographs here daily in her store, True Stories of the Americana in Italy. And she has a new one, Mamma Mia, Saint Sinners, and you've got to see it. You've got to come in. I'm going to walk around and see if I can show you a few more of these. They're so beautiful. Look at all these. The ones I'm showing you right now are for Brenda Brannon, and I know she just brought this long one in, just brought it in. Wouldn't that be fabulous to have in your home? Beautiful. All up against all these antiques and antiquities from Europe. We are in the most special space in the world, not your typical gallery, but I have to tell you, this is the only place I want to be. It's really fun to be here. This particular chair has Pulpwood Queen written all over it. These are outdoor, chairs from the Italian Riviera, and they are very comfortable. They're completely waterproof, and she's got a gold one and a pink one here in the store. But I am very happy to be here. I hope all of you can come and visit Decorate Ornate in Gladewater, Texas. And before I start coughing madly, I'm going to go for now. Thank you, Josephine, Janessa, and Pat for watching here at Decorate Ornate in Gladewater, Texas. You all have a beautiful, beautiful week. And we'll see you all hopefully soon at our virtual first ever online Pulpwood Queen Girlfriend Weekend Slumber Party. It's going to be Zoomathon, and we're all going to be wearing our jammies. Go to www.thepulpwoodqueen.com to read all about it. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now for the Pulpwood Queen.